I will tell you about the newly unveiled EV that has outdone even Tesla with some really cool features as long as it's not moving. Of course, I'm talking about the Hyundai IONIQ 5. I'll tell you all about that. Lucid has a good news and a bad news, but unlike your doctor, I will tell you the good one first, and then InsideEVs contributor Tom Moloughney will be here to comfort the Lucid reservation holders once I'll tell you the bad news. Elon Musk has finally told us where he hid the standard range Model Y and how to get it. Details about Rivian's fast charging network have leaked out, and they are impressive. Porsche shows off what they got for you if you want the performance of the Taycan, but none of that pesky sex appeal with its Cross Turismo version. President Biden's message about our government's electric car fleet gets lost in the mail, literally, and Fisker's second production car will be made by the same guys who make your iPhone. Hope you're okay driving with a cracked windshield. iPhone users know what I'm talking about. All right, stick around. All of this is coming up next. Welcome to E4 Electric, where we are full of positive energy and some cheesy puns. If you like either, go ahead and click on that subscribe button and the bell notification icon so you don't miss anything moving forward, like the upcoming stories about this awesome camper designed to preserve your electric car range and my review of the Super Cruise in the new Bolt EUV. Let's get to our top story, and if you can't beat them on the road, well, beat them at the parking lot. That seems to be the approach that Hyundai is taking with the newly unveiled IONIQ 5 to compete with the industry leader Tesla. Now, if you watch this channel for a while, you know just a couple of months ago I made a video about all of the new electric cars that are coming on the market in 2021, and IONIQ 5 wasn't even there because we didn't know much about it or whether or not it was even coming out this year. Now, we knew it was going to be based on the Concept 45, but we didn't know that they're actually going to design it almost identical to that, which almost never happens. Right, Porsche? And don't be fooled by its size. Now, I know in pictures it looks like a tiny European hatchback, but in reality it's bigger than the ID.4, which is already a pretty big SUV. Here it is next to a short YouTuber for scale. The IONIQ 5 will come in all-wheel drive and a two-wheel drive, both in standard and a long range, so altogether 4 different options. The two-wheel drive long-range version will have a 77.4 kilowatt-hour battery, though that one will only be available in North America, and it will have a range of about 260 to 270 EPA equivalent miles. Between the 4 variants, the 0 to 60 will be anywhere from 5.2 to 8.5 seconds. It will also have some really cool features like augmented reality head-up display and self-parking without the driver, but I'm assuming those features are in a witness protection program because Hyundai has not released any pictures or videos of them. But we do have some visuals for the digital side mirrors where allowed and a solar roof, which should add a few extra miles of range. Now, while this car is moving, none of these specs are anything to brag about, but once this baby comes to a screeching halt, that's where it shines. It will have the industry-leading 350 kilowatt DC charging rate, which means you'll be able to charge your IONIQ 5 from 10 to 80% in just 18 minutes or add 50 EPA equivalent miles in just 5 minutes. The only other EV that's coming on the market this year with the same impressive 350 kilowatt charging rate will be Lucid Air, but we'll talk about that one in a second. It will also have the bi-directional charging, which is going to be very useful, especially if you're going out camping. You can power up almost anything with it. Anything from your fridge all the way to your television set and even a professional soccer team workout. That's right, Hyundai thought it was a great idea to appeal to the American audience with a sport that we've renamed so we can use the word football for the sport that doesn't use feet or a ball. Now, that video goes on for at least 5 minutes, and I think that's the longest I have ever seen a professional soccer player not fall on the ground crying for his mom and a red card. IONIQ 5 will also feature the front seats that will recline all the way back and will have the extended leg rest. They're calling it the living space. It will also feature the universal island console, which you can move back and forth. Now, Hyundai says that it will make space in case if you need to exit through another door in a tight parking situation, but we all know what it's for. Groceries. I meant groceries. What do you think? The deliveries will start in 5 countries by this summer, and it will come to North America in the second half of this year. No pricing has been announced, but most people are speculating it will be in the mid-30s. For more, we are joined by the InsideEVs contributor Tom Moloughney, but before that, a quick reminder that this video and this channel is sponsored by NeoCharge. If you are a renter having to share a dryer with your EV, the NeoCharge Smart Splitter will stop the car charging and resume it once your laundry is done. The link in the discount code down below. And by Bosley. Are you losing your hair like me? Well, you don't have to. I just got my hair transplant a month ago. One of many hair restoration solutions Bosley has for you. Get your free information kit and a discount at bosley.com/e or find it in the description down below. All right, Tom, only a few months ago, we weren't even talking about IONIQ 5, but all of a sudden it's the hottest thing in town. What's changed now that we know everything about the car?
Well, that's what's changed. Now we know everything about the car. We didn't before. Look, I think Hyundai did a great job with it. I think it looks cool, futuristic, but not like a weird mobile. It's going to have good range. It's got vehicle to load features. You can power your house with it and take it camping and power electric devices. The inside's kind of lounge-like. It has really fast DC fast charging features. So, Hyundai put together a really nice package there, Alex.
All right, now let's talk about the competition. I mean, what we've been talking about, the Mach-E and of course the ID4 and a few others. Is it a good competitor?
Well, I'd like to get behind the wheel of it first. I've driven the Mach-E and the ID4, so I might be a little biased towards those, but I think it can play in that sandbox for sure. Those are good EVs, and I think this is going to be another good one.
All right, now we're going to move on to the next topic, and I wanted you to stick around and give me some of your opinion on that one. All right, let's move on to the next story, and now we're going to talk about Lucid, and as I promised, I will give you the good news first, and it is that Lucid is finally going public via a reverse merger with Churchill Capital. Lucid will get around $4.5 billion in cash injection with a valuation around $24 billion, though that changes up and down almost every day, but either way, it is more than Nissan right now. Now, usually more cash means faster to market, but in this case, it's actually the other way around. The Lucid just announced that they're moving the deliveries of the Lucid Air from spring to second half of 2021. Lucid's CEO Peter Rollison said it was all Churchill Capital's idea. They told him to take his time to get the Air right, and also COVID played a role in the delay as well. The Lucid's second vehicle, the SUV called Gravity, is due in 2023, but the recent investor presentation has also outlined a few other cars coming to Lucid's lineup, including a pickup truck. All right, I think me and you, Tom, over time really came to like Lucid as the brand and Lucid Air as the car. Now they're going public, but they're also delaying their production by around half a year. They're saying it's because they want to make it much more perfect for us, but are you buying that?
Well, I like to give them the benefit of the doubt because, as you said, I like what Lucid is doing. But this is kind of pushing it now with the 6 months. It's not a month or two. So, yeah, it's a little troubling, but it's kind of, we should expect it, Alex. They're a startup. They haven't made a car yet. This is their first go at this. I think I'm going to give them a pass on this 6 month period, but let's hope it doesn't end up dragging out longer than that.
Could be a little more because they essentially said second half of the year. But okay, I'm with you on that one. But now the good news, of course, is that they are going public and they will give about, what, $4.5 billion to play with. They've also announced some of the upcoming models besides the Gravity SUV. Do you see them becoming not a product that they are right now with just one car, but an actual brand with a lineup?
Yeah, I mean, I think that had to have been their plan all along. That you're not gonna survive just making one car. But it's nice that you could see now that it looks like they're going to expand the product portfolio and have something like a Model 3 competitor and even a pickup truck. We love pickup trucks here in America, Alex. We buy like 3 million of them a year. And the top 3 selling vehicles in the US are pickup trucks every year. So, you know, hey, if I'm Lucid and I have a platform that I can use for a pickup truck, I'm going to do it also.
Did you guys know Tom also has a YouTube channel? He does, so don't forget to subscribe to that one. A lot of good stuff there. I put a link to it in the description of this video. All right, let's talk about the Tesla Model Y and why Elon Musk is treating its standard range edition like the firecracker shrimp at P.F. Chang's. I'll explain. Originally, it was announced at the unveiling and a lot of people were excited about it, but then Elon said, you know what, we're not gonna make it, it just doesn't have enough range. But then Tesla brought it to production anyway, and it had 244-mile range, which to me is actually not bad at all, but right after that, they took it out of the configurator, making it look like you can't buy it anymore. But now Elon confirmed that it's actually both. It doesn't have enough range, but if you really want it, it's available off menu. But unlike the firecracker shrimp at P.F. Chang's, I'm sure this is going to change by, say, Tuesday. Now, last week, Tesla scared the crap out of a lot of people by shutting down their entire Fremont plant, apparently due to the parts supply issues, but now, much like the blood pressure of a lot of those people, it's back to normal. It looks like Rivian will win the race to the very first electric pickup truck on the market in the United States. Amazon is also testing their delivery vans in Southern California. But unlike other electric car makers, Rivian may need to have its own charging network because its target audience does like to be away from the busy world where most of the DC chargers are. They're calling it the Rivian Adventure Network, and those chargers will be located at the off-roading stops, national parks, etc. And some of the specs for those chargers have been already leaked at the rivianforums.com, with the impressive 140 miles to be added in 20 minutes with the top charging rate at 300 kilowatts. Now, of course, that doesn't mean that the upcoming Rivian trucks will be able to support that charging rate, but it's good to know that it's there for the future. When it comes to their level 2 charging, it's going to be pretty simple: 11.5 kilowatts, 48 amps, and 240 volts. Thank you to the electric design for this image, so we can actually imagine what it will look like. But at the end of the day, for the Rivian vehicles, besides the range and the charging rate, it may all come down to the towing. How far you can tow and what. If you are one of those Porsche fans who love the performance and the power of the all-electric Porsche Taycan but want none of that attention from women, well, Porsche's got a great product for you, the Taycan Cross Turismo, which I'm assuming in German means Grandma Edition? I know a lot of you really like this car because you can fit much more junk in that trunk, and it is coming later this year, but I gotta say the reason I'm upset about it is because it's really gonna mess with my prediction about the Taycan sales this year. Now, I predicted that Taycan sales are going to beat Tesla Model S sales because Taycan has sold 20,000 of them last year, with almost half of them in Q4, which is by far more than Tesla sold of Model S vehicles in the same Q4. But now, between the new Audi e-tron GT, which is based on Taycan, and this Cross Turismo, my prediction doesn't look as probable. But I gotta say, the cheaper version of the Taycan is coming, and a very mild difference between the current and the refreshed Model S may still give me a shot. A couple of weeks ago, President Biden, regardless of whether or not you voted for him, made a lot of us here in the electric car community pretty happy.
The federal government also owns an enormous fleet of vehicles, which we're going to replace with clean electric vehicles made right here in America by American workers, creating millions of jobs, 1 million auto worker jobs in clean energy and vehicles that are net zero emissions.
Now, mind you, the U.S. Postal Service vehicles make up 1/3 of the U.S. government fleet, but the U.S. Postal Service didn't get the message, probably because it was sent using the U.S. Postal Service. Gotta use FedEx next time, Mr. President. And it probably ended up in our neighbor's mailbox. Hey, Mexico, did you get our mail? Can you throw it, over the wall? What do you mean, what wall? That's right, the U.S. Postal Service did not get the message and signed a 10-year contract with Oshkosh Corporation to renew their fleet, with only 10% of the delivery trucks being electric. Now, in their defense, after 6 years of search, only one of many EV companies bidding on this project was even in business. Though I gotta say, I'm not really sure if they were looking in the right places, because as we know, Rivian is delivering the trucks for Amazon, Arrival, and a few others for UPS, and GM for FedEx. Now, I'm not really sure if I'm crazy about the new design. Those trucks, to me, look like I feel when I get numbed by my dentist. And check out the cutting edge features like air conditioning and an airbag, though I'm not really sure if that's where it goes. That's where the cassette player goes, but the airbag goes into the steering wheel, so I hope they'll work it out. Fisker has announced that they're now developing their second electric vehicle, this time in partnership with the iPhone manufacturer Foxconn. Well, you know what that means. Your charging cable will probably stop being compatible within a year, and they will be out of them at Best Buy. The only image of the vehicle that Henrik Fisker has released was this. I see a giraffe. What do you guys see? The production target for this vehicle will be Q3 of 2023. Of course, the Fisker Ocean goes in production in Q4 of the next year. Now, Foxconn has been trying to get into auto manufacturing, last month partnering up with Byton, the love of my life, to bring the brand back. Now, Fisker is now a publicly traded company, and their current manufacturing partner is Magna, that will produce the Ocean SUV next year. If you're wondering what to watch next, well, remember in the beginning of this video, I told you about the other one that I made about all of the electric cars that are coming on the market this year that excluded the IONIQ 5. Well, now that you do know about what's happening with the IONIQ 5, why not find out about the rest of them? I put that link in the description of this video. Other than that, I will see you guys next time, and remember to stay charged.